Today we're going to be doing another Squid Game video. It is a tier list, but with characters this time in chronological order. So from episode 1 on to 9, and I'm gonna have fun with it. All right. First up, we have Gong Yoo. I don't know his actual name in the show. I don't even think his real name was revealed, but in the short amount of time that he was there, he was very good. I liked how sinister and mysterious his vibe was. It felt as if he always had an ulterior motive when he was doing things, and I love that feeling. It felt like he was always the smartest person in the room whenever he was there. Even at the finale, when everything was revealed and the grandmaster of the game was revealed, he still felt like such a scary character to me. I imagine he's going to have a lot more prominent role. I wouldn't be surprised if after season 2 he would be up here, but for now, with the little amount of screen time that he had, I'm gonna put him at a very, very respectable B tier. Next up, we have the doll from Red Light Green Light. I don't even know why this thing is here. Is she even a character? She was just an inanimate object in the game, but she doesn't even have emotion. She's not the Terminator. She's not a sentient being. She's not a rogue AI. She's just a robot. There's nothing character worthy about her. I'm putting her in D tier. Sorry. All right, so we have the square guy in episode 3 who almost caught the cop, almost got the drop on him, but eventually he got the drop on him instead. As a character, he didn't really offer much. The only thing that I could give him is that he's pretty smart. He was able to catch the cop for being out of place. Other than that, there wasn't really much to him. I'm sorry. As a character, I have to put D tier. He wasn't that good, honestly. So now that we got all the minor characters out of the way, we can get to the real meat of this video here. Starting off, we have Ji-yeong. She's a good character. When they first introduced her, she came across as a sort of aloof, oblivious, didn't really care about anything type of girl. But when the next episode comes out and she has that talk with Sae-byeok, you start to understand her psyche a little bit and start to understand why she's so assholey to everyone and how her character went out. I thought it was very beautiful. I thought her character arc, as short as it was very well executed. A tier, I have to say, very good. Next up, we have Ali. Literally, if you look up on Google or ask anyone who's your favorite character in Squid Game, most of them are gonna say Ali because Ali's the best boy. Ali's so nice, such a good person, and I'm not denying that. He's morally the best character in the show. The problem with Ali is that he's too nice, right? I saw how good of a guy he was. I literally said he's going to get taken advantage of. And guess what? He got taken advantage of. He's too naive. That's the problem. I know Sang-woo was a smart guy, but the crap he pulled on you during Marbles, anyone could have seen through that. I guess that's the reason why Sang-woo even picked Ali in the first place, because he knew he could manipulate him. I have to put A tier. Next up, we have Oil Nam, the old guy. If the end of episode 6 was the actual end of his character, he'd be up here. But spoiler alert, when it was revealed that he was actually the grand master of the entire game, he went down to here for me. When he had that talk with Gi-hun and you start to understand why he was doing everything and why he even made Squid Game in the first place, was that he was bored and he wanted fun. Like, no. Come on, man. He was trying to play it off with the whole homeless man wager thing. It was like, oh, no one's helping this homeless man here and I'm trying to help these people. No, you're not. You're just trying to have fun. Stop with all this elitism savior here, bro. No, Oil Nam is not a good person at all. He's a piece of shit. He is rotten to the core. Next up, we have Deok-Su. I personally really like Deok-Su a lot. He's very fun. He checks out a lot of boxes in the show for me. He is the savage of Squid Game. He's the gangster of Squid Game. He's also the comedic relief of Squid Game. I'm not gonna lie, some scenes with Deok-Su are just flat out funny. And what's so great about Deok-Su is that he's not necessarily a one-dimensional mob gangster. He's not just, oh, I'm just a hood gangster, bro. I kill everyone. You start to see his real true colors around Glass Bridge in episode 7. If you think about it, all of his acts that he was doing, he either was a lot stronger than the person he was attacking, or he had a group of people around him to back him up. So when he was doing all this with people, he was always doing that when he always had the upper hand. When the drop came to him though, he ran. I'm saying that like it's a bad thing. I think Deok-Su is one of the coolest characters in Squid Game. I have to put him here. Next up, we have Mi-nyeo. I don't necessarily remember her name, but I think it was somewhere around that. Mi-nyeo, I'm gonna just call her Mi-nyeo. Really cool character. She's obviously for the streets, but I like her regardless. She is absolutely the most petty character in this show. That's what I love about a lot of K-dramas, the pettiness. I love all of the petty squabbles that K-drama characters have with each other. It's so fun to watch. Mi-nyeo over here is pretty much the epitome of pettiness. She's the type of person who rubs it in your face if she beats you. It's so enjoyable to watch. I gotta put her up here, man. She's fantastic. Now we have the Frontman. When he was first introduced, he was a really cool character. Obviously, he fit that mysterious, anonymous grandmaster trope that you see a lot in TV, but he had a really cool, interesting twist to him in that he still had a little bit of humanity in it. He wasn't just a stoic Terminator the whole time. He actually was shown to have feelings. Whenever he saw that the intruder was here, he was confused. He's like, oh, what the hell's happening? In the beginning parts of the scenes with the Frontman, I gotta admit, I heavily enjoyed it. But I gotta say, when he eventually was revealed to be so-and-so's brother, his character kind of dropped for me. You know, there's something about being anonymous that makes you so much scarier. By the time I saw his face, a lot of his intimidation that originally got to me wasn't there anymore. Because of his reveal, he goes a little bit down on the tier list for me. I will put the Frontman here. Next up, we got the cop, the policeman, the GOAT, Jun-ho. And no, I'm not talking about my bias from 2 p.m. I'm talking about Squid Game Jun-ho. He is a freaking cool dude, all right? He's easily the most badass character in all of Squid Game. James Bond who? Nah. Can we have a Jun-ho spin-off movie, please? He is such a badass. The way he infiltrated the island and the way he was able to disguise himself as one of the workers, work his way up into being one of the squares, that was so beautifully done. I feel like you can't do that without being an absolute genius. Jun-ho is the most clutch character in Squid Game. He's everything you want to be as a man. It's going to be heavily biased, but S tier for me, bro. With all those characters out of the way, we are finally at the holy trinity of Squid Game. We have Sae-byeok, Sang-woo, and Gi-hun. We're gonna start off with Sae-byeok first. Sae-byeok is one of my favorite characters in the show, and not because she's freaking sexy. That is true, but she herself is actually a really good character. She's the most morally consistent out of the three. She's dealt with a lot of things in her life, and her being a North Korean refugee, she's seen some shit. She is very wary of everyone around her, rightfully so. Take all of the goodness and kindness of Ali, but she's a lot more street smart. She's a best of both worlds character in that she knows how to protect herself. She knows who to be wary of. She is very cautious about who's around her, but she's also a really, really good person. She's just perfect in every way. Put an S tier. Now, Sang-woo, my freaking guy, Sang-woo. He's my favorite character in the show. Real talk. He's my favorite character in the show, and realistically wise, if this was a real life scenario and this wasn't fiction, he would absolutely win. I'm gonna take it a step further and say that I think he deserves to win. Every single game that he's won, every single time that he's gotten out alive, he worked his ass off for it. He was extremely clutch. In Red Light, Green Light, he figured out a way to get around the doll to hide behind someone so you don't get shot. In Honeycomb, he was smart enough to figure out what game it was. He figured out which shape was easiest to go to. In Tug of War, he was the one who came up with the idea of taking 3 steps forward so they wouldn't lose. With the case of Marbles, I'm pretty sure he knew what the game was. That's why he picked Ali. If you've seen the scenes with him betraying Ali, you could tell that he didn't enjoy anything that he was doing. He knew what he was doing was absolutely terrible. But in Sang-woo's view, he had to do what he had to do to survive and get the money. For Sang-woo, the ends justify the means. When you look at it a certain way, you kind of have to respect him. At the end of the day, whether you like him or not, you have to admit that he stuck consistently to his ideals. He stuck consistently to, like, listen, I'm a piece of shit. We're all a piece of shit. You might as well be a piece of shit and have $4.5 billion. You know what I mean? It takes a real gangster to do that, you know? Great character through and through, and his death, this is gonna be a little hot take. His death was the saddest moment in Squid Game for me. My favorite character to date. We have the final character, the main character of Squid Game, Gi-hun. Gi-hun is one of my favorite characters. Let me just preface in saying that. His acting skills was fantastic, and his speeches, they always gave me goosebumps. As far as I'm concerned, Gi-hun is an incomplete character. Take my ranking of him with a very big grain of salt. What I like about Gi-hun is that he's a very good guy. In terms of good scale, he ranks at the top with Sae-byeok and Ali. Problem is, he doesn't really have the street smarts of Sae-byeok, nor does he we have the integrity of Ali. He did do some kind of dirty things to the old man. He took advantage of his apparent dementia and manipulated his way to winning marbles. So that's one reason why I had a bit of a problem with him confronting Sang-woo on why'd you kill this person. Meanwhile, he's really not that much better because he was manipulating an old man out of winning a marble game. He did a lot of questionable things in the finale of Squid Game where, getting that red hair, I still don't know why he did that. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered surrounding Gi-hun's character, and that's really no fault of Gi-hun himself. It's just the fact that he's an incomplete character right now. Once season 2 comes out, I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes my favorite character in the show. As of right now, I'd probably rank Gi-hun top of A tier. So that's my list of all the Squid Game characters. Let me know if you agree or disagree. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that post notification bell, and I will see y'all in the next video.